Hello everyone, this is AutoLab. On the evening of the 27th, two new Flagship 9 series models were launched simultaneously. One is the NIO ES9, and the other is the all-new AITO M9. Now we've rushed to the stores to give you a hands-on experience of the differences in audio system upgrades between the two new cars. I'm now sitting in the second row of the all-new AITO M9. First of all, this time the audio system has undergone very significant changes. On the standard version, it is equipped with 39 speakers, with a power of 2,920 watts. On the basis of standard, it will be upgraded. On the ultimate version, the number of speakers will directly reach 43. For quantity, it's close to the configuration of the Maestro S800. This top-tier new car also supports a 7.5.8 channel layout. There are 8 ceiling speakers. The front and rear seats also have independent sound zones. The front speakers include sound masking technology to protect conversation privacy. This new car is now equipped with the Harmony OS cockpit, which deeply integrates many Huawei applications. For example, Huawei Music offers a vast library of spatial audio playlists. Huawei Smart Sound Field AI provides adaptive sound field optimization. If you are a Huawei ecosystem user, the seamless handoff from phone to vehicle infotainment system will provide a great experience. Meanwhile, it also supports Dolby and Audio Vivid. We have just experienced the new NIO ES9. This time, it has reached a new height in speaker count, with a total of 47 drivers. This includes 8 headrest speakers. Overall, it also features an innovative channel layout, a 9.2.4.8 configuration. It also has several brand new highlights. One is that it features a dual woofer array on each of the 4 doors. Another one is that it uses a brand new speaker material, diamond tweeters. These tweeters are made of 100% diamond material. This provides better high-frequency extension. I just experienced it and it feels like the sound detail has been further enhanced. NIO's music ecosystem also includes many mainstream apps, such as QQ Music, NetEase Cloud Music, and so on. Moreover, in this car you can experience a 3 Dolby feature, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Dynamic Video Enhancement. Overall, looking at the tuning interface, it remains consistent with NIO's previous style, offering a lot of flexibility with the equalizer. In the end, we also prepared a data comparison of the two 9 series new cars for you. You can directly feel the differences between them. Meanwhile, if you are interested, the new cars have arrived at the store, and you can make an appointment for an offline experience.